I would like to introduce to you Peg O'Donnell. She would like to say a few words, and after that we can have a question and answer period.
I wasn't going to sit on the floor because you'd have to get a crane to get me back. I am nose to nose with my son when I stand in here. That's a very comforting feeling. It's difficult to put into words the feeling of connection and peace I experienced while visiting Andre's studio. There was no spirit box of Shane in the studio, but I had a strong feeling of his presence and that he was at peace, which was very strange because I'm not that type of person, but it was there, trust me. The spirit box to me is the essence of who Shane was. It's not a portrait because that is so flat in comparison. The spirit boxes actually capture, you feel like you can reach out and touch them, and you can see more of who they were rather than a picture. I wholeheartedly have supported Andre's efforts since I heard about it, and I'm very grateful to him and to Linda for taking on such a heartfelt and difficult project. I know it has also been a very touching experience for you. I hope these spirit boxes will bring peace and closure to other families of the fallen. I know it has helped me on my journey. Thank you.
Okay. I am really happy to see so many people, even back here. This is just absolutely beautiful. If you have any questions, and I know you do, I'd be certainly happy to do my best to answer what your inquiries are. Anybody like to ask the first question? Yes.
What's this process like of taking a photo and then creating this from it? What's that process like?
But the question was, what is the process like about taking the photo and creating the spirit box?
How do you create this?
Well, I don't tell anyone. I wanted to leave this part of my career as sort of a mystery, and I think that the mystery lends itself to the more questions that you want to present to your own self, and so therefore you'll inquire more about who you truly are. But basically the material is plexiglass and a photograph, and it's the way I work the spirit box or the photograph in the computer. So because I have to work on the face specifically to make it work for this. They look extremely simple, but they are actually very, very complex. So I don't really like to tell anyone because I want to leave this to me. So I hope that's okay. Yes.
Andre, what's there's another state, this is Wisconsin, and your intention is to do this in every state, or is there another state that you're working on, or?
Well, we started out in Illinois, actually,
Okay.
and then we had built 24 of the boxes by Lake State Industries. So actually the project moved up here because I live in Madison, in Monona, and we wanted to do a national, but we realized that maybe perhaps at that time it was just too much of an undertaking to do all at once, and we need sponsorship and support, and I approached the Wisconsin Veterans Museum, and they liked the idea, and so they commissioned this project, and we went forward with the Wisconsin soldiers. And I'm hoping that eventually we can go either state to state or do a national. So that's our intention, is to honor all the soldiers that have fallen.
Andre, do you need to contact the families and get their permission in order for you to reproduce the pictures?
As far as I understand, no. People asked that in the beginning if I'm infringing on any copyrights, but because the spirit boxes take away so much of the identification and reveal their spirit, perhaps, that's not infringing on any copyrights. And
You can take them from DOD. That's public record. There's no infringement there.
Well, I got all the portraits of everyone off the Washington Post, CNN, Military Times.
That's all public information.
And that's all public information. So I'm I hope that I'm not offending anyone by doing that, and that's not my intention. My intention is to honor. But so far as I know, that it's okay to do that.
I just was thinking more in terms of how honored a family would be that you would choose to do this, and are they made aware at some point?
Well, I actually received an email from one of the families way up north, and to much to my surprise, she said, I see that you're doing this project at the Wisconsin Veterans Museum, and I didn't know that I gave you permission to use my son's portrait, but I see that your project is honorable. So I realized even though that perhaps someone might not like that idea, when they see the project and they see what we're doing, they understand that it's for a really good cause. But I've gotten other responses from other families, and so far everyone has given me approval of it, and I'm very, very happy and grateful for that.
Where are you going to end up with this exhibit? Is it going to stay here, or do you have some other place it's going to be?
As far as I understand, this is now owned by the Wisconsin Veterans Museum, and they'll be here for 4 months, and they're hopefully that it will travel throughout Wisconsin and perhaps the Midwest, so that we'll be able to spread the healing and support around the state of Wisconsin, and I think that information will travel as word of the mouth goes on.
Andre, as Wisconsin has more fallen soldiers, will you be adding their spirits as well to this exhibit?
I think that would be necessary.
Yeah.
I think everyone needs to be honored. As a matter of fact, we started out with 100. And just the last, was a couple of months ago, Mr. Barth, I think his name is, fallen, and I was contacted and said we needed one more spirit box. So, for some reason, it just became the right thing to do.
Andre, can you talk briefly about the moment or the process of inspiration that led you to this project?
I think there has been many moments. I think the moments have been the moments of my life, culminating to this event. Particularly, I was on a spiritual retreat, and I had an exhibition also at the Elmhurst Art Museum, and comments were like, the comments from the public was that it's like they're on this side looking at us, and we're on this side looking at them. And it wasn't of soldiers. And for some reason, I just felt this compelling feeling, this persistent feeling to want to honor the soldiers, those who have given their lives. I mean, it's incredible that they are such brave, young men and women who've put themselves in harm's way, I mean, which is the ultimate sacrifice. And I thought that was just something that most of us could never ever dream of doing. So that brave and those heroic efforts, I think, need to be honored. So the inspiration was a spiritual inspiration. It was almost divinely given, I can say.
Andre, when you first started this project, can you speak to all the different emotions and feelings that you dealt with then and what you deal with today?
That's also another very good question. When I have to work on each and every face, so I look at them in the eyes. And there are many times that I have cried. So there is a lot of emotion that goes into it. And not anywhere near the emotional feelings that I'm sure the families have. But in some way, I feel connected to them when I work with them, because I look at each and every one of them, and I have to take the time to really see what their face is like to make it work for the spirit box. So it's been a very emotional experience.
Thank you.
If a family in another state at this point, say out east or out west, hears about or reads about your project and would like a spirit box of their fallen son or daughter,
Is that something that you do outside of this larger scope?
Yes,
You do.
yes. I've made spirit boxes, of course, as I said, of myself and of others, and not just people who have fallen, but I started out actually making spirit boxes of people who